what we are going to do. Pre-registration counseling, overview and schedule. So as again, to remind you, registration is on the 17th, 18th and 19th of December 2023. And we are doing pre-registration counseling sessions online. There are going to be 4 of them. The first 3 have been scheduled. Today's session is we are going to talk a little bit about the program, but mostly about the registration procedure and how you start thinking about selecting your subjects, right? The 8th and 9th of December, we will have a very quick introduction to every subject that you can register for in the first year, first and second semesters. And finally, on the 14th, we are just completing an analysis of the performance of your immediate senior batch, where we know their entry characteristics. That means whether what they got for the O levels and the A levels and some other things like were they working and so on. And we are doing an analysis to find out whether those factors affected their performance in the first semester. We have the first semester results. Second semester results are still coming in, but we are trying to give you some guidelines on that so that then you can decide whether you should take a full course load or a reduced course load. That should happen on the 14th of December. Separately, there is the pre-registration orientation. That is different from these counseling sessions. That is a physical session. And the reason we have that is for you to get to know your center and more importantly, meet each other and also some current students and get to know each other by doing some activities, right? So this is our pre-registration sessions that we will have. Today, I will start with a little discussion to try to give you an idea of why you are doing this program and what you are supposed to get out at the end of it, right? But just a very quick discussion. It's a discussion. If you do not participate and give me some feedback, then we will stop the discussion, okay? So then the important things that are going to happen today is the registration procedure I will be presenting on. And also I'm going to talk about the Start at OUSL program and introduce you to the selection of subjects, right? So now I will get out of this presentation for now, or we will go to the discussion section. I want you to post. Do not go to the internet and look for anything, because that is not how we learn. We learn by putting out what we know and then improving it. We do not learn by putting out what ChatGPT tells us. Then I don't need students. We can just go to ChatGPT, right? So please type in some ideas about what you think engineering is and what software is. You can type it into the chat, I think. Developing something. Anybody else? Please put it in a very brief sentence or half a sentence, a phrase like that. What's your basic idea? When you hear the word engineering, what comes into your head? Because it's a very broad term. Anybody else? So like I said, we don't want to waste time. If nobody's participating, we will just quickly go ahead to design, developing, and it involves mathematics too. Process of solving a problem. Software is a set of instructions for specific work. Software is a set of instructions for specific work. Who is doing the work for software? If someone tells you what to do, how to make a cake, is that software? Let's improve that. Structure and process using maths and science, that is correct. So we are getting some ideas. Engineering is to solve problems. That is a very good concept to have in your head, right? And you must understand, which probably nobody has really explained to you before, in school the difference between science and engineering, right? There's some fundamental differences between science and engineering. Certain tasks using a device, is that engineering or is that software? So we are getting some ideas. Now I will quickly give you the definitions that you will see if you go to Wikipedia, which is my first port of call to get some kind of general definition for anything. And then we can discuss a few other concepts. So if you go to Wikipedia, which I encourage all of you to do, you can also go to ChatGPT, but I prefer that you go to Wikipedia because Wikipedia is a collection of information that is linked carefully and where people have at least checked most of the information on Wikipedia. Some of it may be incorrect, but it has been checked, especially when you come to technical subjects. It has been checked a lot. So ChatGPT goes to anybody. It does not consider that Wikipedia is better than something that some idiot wrote somewhere. So it will just give you the garbage that is on the internet. So I strongly recommend not to use ChatGPT. You should use these kind of verified sources such as Wikipedia. So this is what Wikipedia says. Engineering is the practice of using natural science, mathematics, and the engineering design process to solve technical problems, increase efficiency and productivity, and improve systems. Now, software is quite specific. It is computer programs. In other words, a program is a set of instructions that tells a computer what to do, not anything else. It tells a computer. Of course, that computer could then tell a machine what to do. So that can also end up being software. And it says software also includes design documents and specifications. So because we are going to learn software engineering. So basically, you are going to learn about the engineering of software. Now, here, there is a very important phrase which we won't discuss in detail now, but I will later on, through an example, maybe in January, get you thinking about what is the engineering design process, right? Again, right now, I would like you to type into the chat what you understand by the word design. Forget about engineering design. What do you understand by the word design? We will take, this is a long discussion. We won't have it today. Yeah, so now you see somebody is already cutting and pasting things from the internet. We don't want that. We are not interested in what comes from the internet. I can do that if you want. I want you to write. The whole idea of learning is by thinking and improving your thinking. If you are going to cut and paste from the internet, you will not learn anything. So already you are coming up with bad habits. I didn't ask you to cut and paste from the internet. I wanted you to write something. So what is the word design? What does it mean? Design is something similar to architecture. Can we be a little more specific? Step-by-step procedure to build something. A plan or drawing to show the look or function, like creating. Very good. So, see, design involves creation, but actually, so the specific thing about design is a set of instructions to make something, right? It's a pre-plan. Very good. And you can do it through a diagram. You can do it through a document. It's a design, right? So in this program, we are going to learn to design software. Anything that engineers do, but the big thing that engineers do that scientists don't do and that nobody else does, well, architects do, of course, and sorry, I should not say nobody else, but what engineers do that scientists don't do particularly is they design things. They design things and then, of course, they operate things and they maintain things. So software engineers will be designing software. They will be then creating the software, operating the software, and maintaining the software. Those are the kind of things that software engineers do, right? That's all I want to say about that for the moment. Then we will go to an example quickly. We will go to an example. And then we will stop because we have to get down to our actual process. Now, for the example, I would really like those who do not know anything about the people who do not know much about computers and software to answer. Because otherwise, the people who know, they know a lot and they can come later. First, we want to give a chance to people who don't know anything, right? So we are going to now try to understand what software is by an example. And the example I have selected is Moodle. Okay. So what does Moodle do? Let's start with that. What does Moodle do? You have all been using Moodle. You see it. It helps people share information and communicate. So as I've told you, actually what it's supposed to do is it's supposed to help people learn together, right? It's supposed to help people. Moodle is an LMS. It's a learning management system. It is facilitating your learning and not you as individuals, you as a group, right? It provides an interface. Then how do we access Moodle? So Moodle is a software, but we do not install it and run it on our computers. So how do we access the Moodle? Says cloud through a web browser. In other words, let us use the word internet to describe the network of computers linked together through the internet, or nowadays that is called the World Wide Web, right? We can access through a web browser or a dedicated app from our mobile phones to access this. So if we are not running it on our computers, where is this software running? Software is something that runs on a computer. So where is now we are going on a web browser and going to Moodle. Where is this Moodle running? The word we want is running on a server. So then now the people who know, can you tell me what a server is? A server is not only storage. Yes, it is a computer that is hosting the software, but it is made to serve. Serve means, the word service. It's meant to provide a service to the users, right? So that it is a computer that has been set up in a special way. People can come to it from the internet or from some other means and get the service, right? So it has to have storage and so on. Okay. So that is Moodle is sitting then on a server. Now, what are the things, if you can, okay, people who know a little bit about software, if you are going to, let us assume we are going to write Moodle from the beginning, then what are the things that it should have? Can anybody, people with a little knowledge, what are the components that Moodle should have? For example, you log in using your username and password. So if there are 1,500 students, then the computer system or the Moodle software has to check whether you have a account on that system. So all that information is what we call data. So obviously Moodle has to have a database, right? A database. Then there should be interface. There should be files. But you can't just have the files. the software should be able to find the files when they want. That means you need to have a database. So now we are coming up with words that maybe some of you are not familiar with, but those are the kind of words that you will see when you look at the list of courses. That's all I want you to do today is to think. Now you have all these courses. You should think about, let's think through Moodle. If I was writing Moodle, do I need this course? And what am I going to do with this course? Right? So if you look at a list of courses, which is in the guidebook, you will see courses on computer programming. You will see courses on databases. You will see courses on web applications. You will see courses on other things, maybe a server, and you will see courses on computer and communication infrastructure. That's a very important course which students find very difficult in the first year because the software is using the infrastructure. So if you don't know the infrastructure, then you cannot develop the software. It is like if you don't know what a road is like, you cannot develop a car, right? If you're developing a car for a certain kind of road and the road is different, the car won't work. So you need to know what is the infrastructure first before you write the software. So are there anything outside this programming, databases, computer infrastructure, anything else that you should know to be a software engineer? Can you put down some other areas that you should know? You're going to be a software engineer. That means somebody who designs and develops and implements and maintains software. Are you doing that for free or are you getting paid? Okay, law. Why do you need to know law? Yeah, machine learning also is sort of a computer-based thing. I'm asking for things like law that are outside. Yes, you need law because after all, you are going to sell it to somebody, right? And if that person doesn't like it and they paid money to you, they will come and say, no, no, you must give me the money back. And if you think, no, I should not give the money back, then you have to go to the law, right? Plus, anyway, all this, there are many other laws that are relevant to the software engineering industry. But is it only law that you need to know outside your computing stuff? Communication skills. Why do you need communication skills? First, let's get to communication skills. Why do you need communication skills? Not only for group projects, to sell a service or product, very good. So you have to talk to people. You have to talk to people who are going to pay you money. You have to talk to other people who are going to work with you. What about business management? Why do you need business management? What is business management anyway? Yeah, okay. So let's go to business management. Business management is a very large term. Do you need to know about financing and accounting? No, you do. If you are selling something, it involves money. Anything that involves money, you need to know finance and accounting, right? So, since the software engineering, the objective of it is to earn money at the end of the day, either you or the company that you work for is earning money. So, business management basically means taking the decisions that, make everything happen. And managing people is also part of that. You have to decide who does what, who is the boss of a group. That is, if you are the overall boss, you have to decide and tell people what to do and how to do it. That involves understanding people. People are not computers. They will not just do everything you say, right? So, if you look at your courses, and I'm not going to do it here, you will see courses related to all these areas, right? So, that's my way of introducing this program and the subjects that are in it, right? Every subject in the program has a purpose to make you into a software engineer. And the other thing that we said, of course, a very important subject that you will see there is industrial training. Our program is not successful if you cannot go and get a job or an internship in the industry, right? You may pass the program, but if you can't get a job, then our program is not a good program. So we are also teaching you about the industry in many ways, and the biggest way is industrial training, 6 months of industrial training, and I will mention it all the time. Those who are doing permanent jobs, not related to the industry. If you are a teacher, for example, then you have to be able to take the 6 months of leave to go and work in the industry. Otherwise, you can never finish the program. So maybe you should not start the program if you're not willing to do that in the future. It's very important that you understand it. We will actually get you to sign something when you register saying that you understand that, because people have come after 3 years and said, no one told us that we have to do industrial training, that we have to take leave. That is not acceptable. It's part of the program because this program is for a particular industry. By the way, somebody is asking, is this internship after the 4th year? No, it is, you have to complete it during the 4 years of your program. You do not get the degree until you complete this industrial training. We don't talk about it now. You can ask on the LMS, please, right? Anything that is not relevant to this presentation, I will say ask on the LMS, because we have the LMS and people are answering questions there.